It's been 15 years since the September 11th attacks. See how Northeast Kansas is remembering victims later in the broadcast.
Also, a raise in sales tax could make its way to Manhattan. All that and more coming up on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome. Thank you for watching Channel 8 News. Today is Thursday, September 15th. I'm Mackenzie Dinas.
And I'm Lauren Kofer. Manhattan businesses are having to turn down the volume. Tony Cannizzaro tells us how businesses are adjusting to the city's new sound ordinance.
The new noise ordinance in Manhattan has some bars changing their indoor and outdoor setup to make sure that they're complying with the new rules while at the same time keeping their customers satisfied.
According to the City Commission agenda.
Sorry, we are having technical difficulties, but residents and businesses hosting events that will be a little louder can request a permit from the City of Manhattan.
Starting in 2014, after the first college football playoff, which excluded any Big 12 teams, the conference has been looking to bring in 2 or 4 schools to get a competitive edge, as well as make the entire conference more money in media deals. The Big 12 Conference Commissioner Bob Bowlesby and his team of officials are looking into the pros and cons of adding teams. They're also trying to decide which teams to add. Some of the teams being considered include Brigham Young, Colorado State, Boise State, Southern Methodist University, Houston, and Cincinnati, among others. Student government leaders want to keep one school out of the Big 12. The Collegian reports that K-State Student Governing Association is considering a resolution to all Big 12 university presidents that would keep private Mormon school Brigham Young University out of the conference. Student body president Jessica Van Rankin told the Collegian that BYU's honor code, which bans same-sex relationships, is not inclusive. A resolution would have to be approved by a majority of the student senate. There's no words if Big 12 leaders are considering bringing BYU into the conference. Governor Sam Brownback is seeking input on a new school finance formula. The governor's office has set up an email account where the Hope teachers and school officials will share their thoughts on the formula. For those with ideas or suggestions can be sent to Students First at ks.gov until November 30th.
Manhattan residents could soon see a sales tax hike. Voters will be asked to approve a 0.20% sales tax increase on their November ballot. The City of Manhattan says the increase will pay for the street repair and safe routes for school projects. The city will hold 4 events to tell residents what the increase will mean for them. The first event will be at 6 p.m. tonight at the headquarters fire station at 2000 Denison.
Lower temps, cheaper gas. AAA says gas prices in Kansas should fall as cooler weather heads into the Sunflower State. They say the lower prices are due to an end of the busy summer driving season and the switch from summer blend to winter blend gasoline, which is cheaper to produce. The current national average gas price is $2.18, with the average for Manhattan about 8 cents cheaper at $2.10. Last weekend's 9/11 memorial service.
And later on, we show you how students affected by the Hale Library's new hours might have a backup plan. Stay tuned on Channel 8.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
It has been 15 years since the attacks on the Pentagon, the World Trade Center, and a field in Pennsylvania on 9/11. People in the Northeast Kansas found ways to honor the victims on this anniversary.
Area community members, first responders, and military officials gathered at Fort Riley on Sunday to remember those who lost their lives during 9/11. Each year, Fort Riley also honors fallen 1st Infantry Division soldiers who have died in the line of duty. On the 15th anniversary of the attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, Fort Riley held their commemoration for those who risked and lost their lives. Deputy Commander General was interviewed, Patrick Frank, and he says that, "I remember being in the brigade commander's office later that day when the towers fell, and it was apparent to everyone in uniform that he would not be engaged with the enemies of our nation very quickly after that day." And the 9/11 Memorial base at Fort Riley is where civilians gather together to remember those who gave their lives fighting for the Big Red One in the years since the attacks, including Joseph Stifler, who is honored there today. Many people spoke on his behalf, saying he was a very courageous man, how he loved to help people and had a great sense of humor. He really wanted to fight for his country, they said, and he said that he was a great man who did what he knew he had to do. And taking time to remember those who have lost their lives and honoring their families is very important at Fort Riley. They always say a warrior's ethos, no soldiers, no comrade left behind. We truly believe that at Fort Riley is their message there. Yes. And Joseph Stifler is the 214th name to be added to the 9/11 Memorial on base at Fort Riley.
And on campus, the K-State Union Program Council had their own way of remembering the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The UPC placed 2,996 flags and signs across the campus to represent each person killed in the attacks. The flags lined campus sidewalks on Sunday and Monday. Sophomore Megan Plank said she thinks the remembrance is a nice touch by the UPC and a great way to remember those who lost their lives that day.
I love seeing them here. I think it's such a great
She
way
said
to
that she
remind
loved
students about what happened, especially, I mean, even the ones of us that don't necessarily remember 9/11, but I think it's such a good, visual to just, see there are a lot of people that died and a lot of people that lost their lives.
Hale Library cuts back its hours. See what options are available for late night studying. Plus, plenty of sports action last weekend are still to come on Channel 8 News.
From the Little Apple to the Big Apple, through internships, networking, and great professors, Lauren Bishop landed the job of her dreams, working with entertainers and celebrities for a PR firm in New York City. From backstage at the 25th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, watching Mick Jagger and Bono rock, to London for the launch of a new luxury hotel, Lauren Bishop is living her dream. That's the Wildcat way. In 2005, a Kansas State aviation student volunteered to be a mechanic for the Global Flyer ground team in Salina, Kansas. Jim Reed's love of aviation and being a mechanic converged that day, and his career took flight. Employed by Virgin Galactic, he now helps build spaceships. Spaceships for those who want to see planet Earth like an astronaut. That's the Wildcat way.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Klein's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
As Hale Library is reducing its hours, night owls are finding it hard to find a place to study. Businesses are setting up Bridge the Show Gap. The university had to drop in enrollment and experience callbacks from the state, resulting in budget cuts. A drop in enrollment and state callbacks resulted in university budget cuts affecting the library. The dean of the library would like students to know, he's letting the students know by doing the interview, this decision was not one that because the library supports the teaching and research mission of the university. The dean of the library, Lori Goetsch, says, "We hope we can find some additional resources in the future so that this isn't a permanent decision and we can go back to extending those hours. We're looking right now at the weather, or we can get some funds for at least stay open until 2 a.m. rather than having to close at midnight. So we're still working on this. This isn't a closed issue. It's one that is near and dear to my heart, and we're continuing to fight the good fight to stay open. For those looking to study late into the night, the fellow offers a space for students and community members alike. One of the goals at the Fellow is to connect students with the Manhattan community by creating a space where professionals and students can collaborate together. Matt Amick, co-owner of the Fellow, says, "So we tried to design a space people wanted to be. It's creative. There's art on the walls. There's really cool designs and tables or standing desks, sitting desks, tons of different space to collaborate, whiteboards, just this playground for studying in ways where you can really be productive. That is why we developed for students." The library will have extended hours during Dead Week and Finals Week. You can find more information on the Fellow at thefellowmhk.com.
Tuesday, the Black Student Union held a meeting informing its members on new voting registration policies. With voting season right around the corner, one student organization here at Kansas State has made its mission to make sure students get to the polls. BSU student organization member Erica Young says, "It's a social setting for the Black students in the K-State community. It's where they share our thoughts and our narratives about being Black at a PWI and growing up, whether we live in a good parts or bad parts, expressing our love and emotion for who we are and what we stand for." The Kansas State Black Student Union held a meeting entitled Black Votes Matter in order to highlight the importance of making their voices heard this November. That night really just informed people on how important it is to vote and that they are young people that need to vote. Even those that are 18 and older, their voices can be heard. In a partnership with Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Kansas State BSU educated its members on the voting process and new voter registration laws in Kansas. Students in attendance were given materials to register to vote and were encouraged to do so by the October 18th deadline. Reporting for Channel 8 News, that was Erica. The Black Student Union will meet again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the Big 12 room located in the Student Union.
Cooler temps could be in store. Channel 8's weather reporter Grant Flanders tells us what we can expect.
Thank you so much for joining me, showing you the weather around the nation. Seattle, up in the northwest corner, we're going to be experiencing 72 degrees. And going down south to Los Angeles, they're going to be having a very comfortable day at 78 degrees. The hottest part of this map is definitely looking over to the Dallas and Atlanta areas. Both are looking at 93-degree weather. And up in the Windy City, a very comfortable 76 degrees. And in the bustling city of New York, where everyone is working, they're going to have a comfortable 75 degrees on their work weeks. And looking at the national map, we're going to have partly cloudy skies in Seattle, and of course, some sunny skies down here in Los Angeles. Moving over to Colorado, Denver area, sunny skies in the Mile High City. Moving east in the Dallas area, scattered clouds with some sun peeking through, and a common occurrence for the North and Midwest. We have thunderstorms in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, as well as some thunderstorms and partly sunny skies in Kansas. And moving on to the Chicago area, partly cloudy skies, and in New York and Atlanta, both going to be experiencing some very sunny skies. So look for those sunglasses if you're in those parts of the country. And moving on to the Kansas map, we have comfortable 80 degrees throughout the state, 82 out west, and moving down to the southwest portion of Kansas, very comfortable 87 degrees. And moving east, Riley County area, 85 degrees, and that's the same as well in Johnson County, Kansas City area, as well as the southeast corner of Kansas. And moving into the 5-day forecast, one thing I want to highlight, most importance, is the look at some thunderstorms. Thursday, isolated thunderstorms, and tonight, 80% chance of storms. Friday, scattered thunderstorms, 50% chance, and 40% chance of storms Friday night. And a look at the temperatures, mid-80s for today. Your weekend is around 80 degrees throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And moving on, a good start to the week Monday with sunny skies and high 80s is what we expect. And for the lows into the nights, Thursday night, experiencing 67 degrees as the low, 60 degrees for Friday and Saturday, and mid-60s for Sunday and Monday nights. And now let's send it back over to the desk with Mackenzie and Lauren.
The K-State athletes weren't the only ones in action last week. See what other sports were happening around the community.
And don't miss your last look at the upcoming weather here on Channel 8.
Nearly 150 years ago, the first native limestone was carved into the campus of Kansas State University. Since that time, K-State has known what it takes to rise to the challenge. Now, we're challenging ourselves to become a top 50 public research university by the year 2025. To reach that status, our research dollars, endowment, career award winners, and patents are growing to match our internationally recognized programs and research. K-State 2025 is more than a challenge, it's a commitment. A commitment we'll keep. Because where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Klein's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Even with a bye week, K-State still had plenty of sporting events around Manhattan and the K-State campus.
Channel 8's Braxton Jones has your K-State sports updates.
Thanks, guys. It's been a good week for K-State athletics. Let's take a look back at what you may have missed. Let's lead off with some K-State volleyball. The nationally ranked Kansas State volleyball team reached a milestone last Friday. Head coach Susie Fritz won her 300th match in her career at K-State, leading the Cats to their 800th program win, a feat that only 2 other Big 12 schools have met. The Cats would go on to complete the sweep of the weekend, winning the Wildcat Classic. The men's golf team finished 8th in the Badger Invitational, behind the dominant performance of Jeremy Gandon. The sophomore from France finished in a tie for 3rd in individual play, and the women's team took to the course as well, finishing 10th in their season opener this past Tuesday. But the students weren't the only ones on the course. This past Monday, the Kansas State University faculty and staff got together, but this wasn't your regular staff meeting. The Kansas State faculty and staff got together and had a chance to relax on the back nine this past Monday, playing in the annual faculty golf tournament. Recreational Services sponsors these tournaments every year, and they're open to all current and former faculty. This semester's tournament took place at the Wamego Country Club, where there were 65 participants. The tournament winners were the team of Greg Blackwell, Roland Davis, Steve Stockham, and Mike Moore. Believe it or not, Bill Snyder Family Stadium is used for more than just football. Channel 8 sports reporter Kevin Bartram gave me an inside look in the first music event in over 3 decades. The Zac Brown Band got a chance to play the first concert in Bill Snyder Family Stadium in quite some time. Tailgaters were out, and there was a big crowd for what was to come. There was a rumored over 16,000 people at the concert that weekend, and they had a really good time listening to some homegrown music. Students, alumni, and families had a chance to get together, and people of all ages got to enjoy the surprisingly cool weather. Zac Brown Band was joined by Train, Philip Phillips, and 2 other acts in front of thousands of students and their families. Fans said, "I think it's a really great opportunity for students and anyone who's a K-State fan to come out when it's not a football game, because I feel like it's more of an opportunity for kids to get here and see what K-State offers besides just football and Bill Snyder." Kayla Daniel, also there, had a chance to say, "I think it's really fun. It's a great opportunity for people to come out and get together and watch some football and have a good time, not watching some football." Here we go. We're going to go back to you guys. Thank you. That's all we have for the sports. Go Cats.
Earlier, we were having some technical difficulties, but now that it's working, we're able to show you the Black Student Union, which occurred this Tuesday. Check it out.
Season being around the corner, one organization here at Kansas State University has made it their mission to make sure students get to vote in November.
The issues of social setting for the Black students on the K-State community, so we share our stories and our narratives about being Black on the PWI, growing up, whether we live in good parts or bad parts, expressing our love and emotion for who we are and for what we stand for.
The Kansas State Black Student Union held a meeting entitled Black Votes Matter in order to highlight the importance of making their voice heard this November.
Tonight really just really inform people on how important it is to voting. Like really the young people getting out to the vote, at least 18 years old. Their voices could be heard.
In a partnership with Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the Kansas State BSU educated its members on voting process and new voter registration laws in Kansas. Students in attendance were given materials to register and vote and were encouraged to do so by the October 18th deadline. Reporting from Channel 8 News, I am Erica Young.
We'll be back with our final weather after the break.
I am an artist.
I'm an explorer.
A parent.
Working full-time.
I am the future. I'm finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student. I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Artists, programmers, and musicians took over the streets of Aggieville for the 3rd annual Mini Maker Fair last Saturday. Over 35 groups from Manhattan and K-State participated in this year's fair, including the College of Engineering, K-State Amateur Radio Club, and the American Nuclear Society. Participants were encouraged to be creative and learn new skills during the event, which ran all day. The fair was sponsored by Maker Media, which publishes Make magazines. The Maker movement started in California and has since grown to over 120 community-driven independent events across the nation.
I was there and it was great to see everyone involved in the community and just having a great time.
I've never gone before. I can't imagine some of the things they might.
That's wonderful. Well, let's take a look again at your 5-day forecast. 85 degrees is the temperature expected throughout today, as well as a good temperature of 80 degrees throughout the weekend. 60s, high 60s, low 60s are what to expect as lows at night. And to start your week off right, Monday, sunny skies with the high around 88. So you can expect some very nice weather going into people's work weeks.
You never know what you're gonna have in Kansas.
That's so right, but it sounds almost promising. Well, guys, thank you for watching Channel 8 News.
That's all we have for you.
Be sure to catch our show next Thursday and look for MHK All Day, which airs right here on Channel 8 on Friday at 11:35 a.m. And connect with the show on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Channel 8 News.